Hello there, everybody. This is Josh Scorcher, and we are continuing in Chapter 6 of Shadows of the Old World. So this is a very, so we ended on a... we did... we did end on a cliffhanger, but not in the very traditional sense of the cliffhanger. But, so yeah, it's... I hope everyone's looking forward to this session and having fun with the Feast of Fortune.
Yay!
Mama Hoshi mad at me.
Mama Hoshi's very mad at you. And at JoJo.
And at Shylin. Really, honestly, it's easier to count who she's not mad at.
No, she's not mad at Shylin right now. Actually, she's ambivalent towards him right now.
Even after he
spoke Simajin?
Ambivalent.
Again, first of all, I beg your pardon. Second of all, I want to see the reaction to that.
All right, well, I'm probably just delaying the analysis, so let's get right into it, shall we? During their exploration of the Feast of Fortune, the party came across Adrian's younger sister, Marilyn Tanlael. She had come to the festival to offer readings of people's past, present, and future. Her prophecies had left the party concerned. Adrian is now unsure about his pursuit of knowledge. Flint and Seven are having trouble with their sense of self. Hoshimi is concerned about what she should do in the future. Olwen is pondering about what she might lose as a result of fighting Hollyhock. Sybil is looking for any answers as to why he was spared. Shylin was told that he could find Raquel by searching in certain places. Shylin had gone to the ring to see if he could get a good performance off. Finding one of his colleagues, the two put on a great show. During an exhibition match between Seven and JoJo, Shylin had noticed that JoJo had thrown the match and called it out. Wishing to avoid any conflict, JoJo was compelled to leave before being stopped by Olwen. Caius had seen the moment happen, and the two brothers had a passionate disagreement about whether the action was justified. While Flint had fun experimenting with anything food-related at the festival, he was given a message about the potion of shared memories as well as its antidote. Adrian had joined him on retrieving it after being harshly judged about his choice in clothing. The two, along with Shylin, realized that whomever the skeleton man in the Dark City was, he had been carrying a mark of Asmodeus, the former god of Bator. Hoshimi had continued her planning with Olwen's eccentric brother, Reinhardt, and managed to get Olwen into a beautiful dress. The two ladies performed in the dress charity, with Hoshimi emerging victorious. Hoshimi went on to win the dance contest as well and felt mischievous glee from dunking Shylin in a large bucket. Seven wanted to play as many games as she could, and unfortunately the group lost track of her and she was nearly arrested by the local police. At the end of the day, after a spirited race in the obstacle course, the party decided to take a rest for the night at the Valentine's Gatless mansion. Staying with them is Princess Abigail of Directian. And this is where our story continues. It is the evening of Silenost 16th. And we have just found that... wait a minute, where does she go? There. And we are continuing immediately after Shylin dropped that he understood Sumajin. And everyone's now looking at him kind of in shock.
Are we supposed to still be on the title menu?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I just did refresh. It'll probably bring us around.
There it is.
Oh, it's loading for me.
I needed to press the button twice.
Okay.
Okay. I love this music.
Yes.
Okay, we're picking up directly from that moment.
Yep.
Yes.
Directly from him just saying perfect Simogen, pot calling the kettle black.
Okay, Hoshimi stares at him for a good 20 seconds. Then it's like, are you kidding me?
Again, in Simogen, he just says, no.
You have a censor bleep handy?
How long have you known my language?
I just
That's
think it's so
language?
cool.
Yeah, that kinda depends. Are you asking when I first started learning, or when I had learnt enough to consider myself fluent?
You know what? I don't care.
Suit yourself.
Well, Abigail pipes up. Well, if you're looking for if you're looking for a place to sit comfortably, if you go down that hallway to the right there, go to the door on the end on the right, you'll enter the lounge. Anyone who's good with cooking, do you mind coming with me? I'm very hungry, and I'm pretty sure all of you are, so we should probably get to that.
So Charlotte actually looks over at. So Charlotte actually looks over at Caius and says, "Wow, really interesting to be given the tour of your own family's house, isn't it?"
It's like Caius shrugs. I don't know. She knows where everything is. She's been here before.
Charlotte honestly looks more amused than annoyed.
Like, it's like what am I supposed to interrupt her and just say that she didn't explain how to lead people through the house correctly? Yeah, that'd go over well.
Okay, now we
I'll
kind
be
of want
heading to the
to
kitchen.
had just.
Yeah, where is it exactly?
Oh, follow me.
Can't you smell it from here? Quick question. What kind of
What does a
language
room
is that?
smell like?
What'd you say?
You can't smell the food? It's literally wafting down the hall.
There's no food being made. We have to go make it.
I'm sure there's plenty. I'm pretty sure I can smell, bread, cheese, other stuff like that.
Yes, he can.
Can I'm not a cat.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Hey, look, cheese.
And bread, how about that?
So, what we making?
Well, that's going to depend on what ingredients we have available.
I do curries and stews.
Oh, I haven't had a good curry in a long time.
All right.
Jono, do you have headphones? You kind of the music is echoing a little bit on your end, I think.
Yeah.
Just show me where your spice cabinet is.
Mhm. Right. So, all right. So we'll all cook in here. Basically, anyone who is not trained in crafting cannot cook.
Oh, yay.
I'm fine with that.
I'm trained in eating.
Roll and eat check.
No. No, because then you risk getting a nat one, and I do not want you to die choking.
That would be an eat instead of an eat check. That'd be an eat choke.
I don't seem to have been moved with the rest of the group. My apologies.
Oh, no,
did you want to come to the kitchen?
Everyone just left. Everyone just walked away.
Okay.
I have a bit of a odd question, I think. Earlier, who were the funny-looking bandits?
Funny-looking bandits.
The ones that were chasing the griffin.
Oh, Sam immediately goes out to the table. Seven knows who they were.
They allow bandits in the city?
Those weren't bandits, those were town guards.
Yeah.
Then why were they chasing Seven?
You know
Laws
what?
and permits about griffins.
You know what? You can explain it.
That's literally what I was doing.
Can there be is there a camera that I can grab so recording purposes.
There's a camera right here where you can click on it. It's right next to Abigail.
I do not.
Oh wait, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
I do
mean,
not
you do-
see Abigail. Okay, wait. There you are. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can use one of your cards.
For cooking? Nah. That'd be a waste. Can I throw out the mess I made and try again?
Possibly.
Can I do it?
Abigail, hang on a second. It's one thing at a time. So, Abigail, she looks at you and says, "Well, everyone who can cook here, it's we can just have you. The rest of you can go explore the mansion as long as you don't break anything. It's not mine, so I'd rather not pay for anything."
For some reason, because I got a nat 1, now I imagine Flint trying to bake and you just hear very off in the distance. I'm okay.
It lagged you out.
Yeah.
I said,
I'm gonna be useless here.
Sorry.
All right.
So Jojo immediately goes for the largest pot that he can find and starts just tossing spices and whatnot into it. I'm going to need some coconut milk.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
A 1 and then a 2. Wow, I just can't cook today.
3, 4, 5.
Here it's Abigail looks at the fact that you're struggling. Do you need a little bit of help there?
No, I got it. I know spices. And
Are-
only spices. I could probably make something out of that.
The friggin' of rats!
Like you see her lift up a gloved hand. It flashes really briefly, and then it transforms into a lute.
Ooh, pretty.
She's a bard.
I think
Fire
you
competence.
need a little bit of inspiration.
Oh, I love it.
You gonna play my dad's dining song?
I have
Let's see if
several
that-
questions, Finn.
Oh, he did. Ivan did play the lute. What do you expect?
What is this dining song supposed to do? Aid digestion?
Yeah, he would sing it with his mouth full, like.
Medicine go down, the medicine go down.
So, Abigail is playing her lute all the while her lute, like halfway through the song, the lute glows and changes shape into a knife, and she starts cutting, being very percussive, and then it changes back into a lute, and she just continues playing.
Wow.
Meanwhile, upstairs, Shiloh groans with annoyance. Why did the architect feel the need to install 5 separate chimneys in this place?
$16? Yeah. Oh, we just sung Spoonful of Sugar. Now we can sing Chim Chimney.
What about another dwarvish drinking song?
That works too.
Because they don't have Irish in this universe.
Okay, so. All right. Okay, so Jojo has. Okay, you rolled a d20. Your crafting modifier is a +8, so that's a 24.
So I am, even with unfamiliar spices, still owning it.
All right, so yeah.
Jojo is like totally dancing along with the music while he's cooking.
Yep. All right. So that's so as she finishes her tune with a flourish, The food is very well prepared. Olwyn, what do you think? What do you think everybody prepared? You're usually the one who comes up with the food that everyone eats.
Oh boy.
Oh, well, I know very little about curries.
It's super easy. There's like 3 ingredients. You throw in a meat, bunch of spices, coconut milk, boil, you're good.
Okay, then I'm gonna say a nice chicken curry with
Gotta have rice with curry. Anybody here know how to make rice?
I made naan, as well as a vegetable stir fry with peppers and onions and mushrooms.
That should work.
And then Flint handled the rice.
Yes. I'm good with rice. That's all I need.
It's nice and sticky and good for sopping up curry juice.
Indeed. So I oversimplified that. First, you activate the curry paste. Activate the flavor by heating it. Then you toss in the coconut milk, and then So
Reactivate.
you just kind of toss everything else in,
Yeah.
and then flavor to taste.
Mm.
Kind of like how you make alcohol. So anyway, funny looking police people. Why were they chasing Seven?
And immediately Seven sinks her head lower onto the table again.
Seven,
Did she do something bad? I'm confused. Did I do something bad?
I just don't think Seven wants to share at the moment.
Can you share? I'm very, very lost.
I am pretty sure I wasn't there. I wasn't there, right?
Seven kind of just bolts out of the kitchen.
The customs of this country are so funny.
Yeah.
And she goes onto the bigger table. Ooh, much bigger table.
I can smell food coming from there too.
From the dining room?
Indeed.
Well, Olwen did bring, her stir fry and the naan in order to sort of set everything up. So
Ah, true. Very true.
So, is it customary for guards to chase children in this?
Excuse me, Coach Jamie.
Well, usually guards only chase you when you've done something wrong, but I can't imagine Seven doing anything wrong.
I agree. That's why when I saw them chasing her, I thought they must be bandits in funny-looking uniforms.
Well, it's just how the rules are here. Unfortunately,
What rules? I feel like I need some kind of education before we proceed. I don't want to break any more of these arbitrary rules I had no idea about, apparently.
oh dear. Well, in the UAA, here we have a lot of rules about magic. It's in the past there have been a lot of incidents regarding very evil people who have used magic for very bad things, and
Okay. The guards could tell that Seven wasn't a magician, right?
well, unfortunately, griffins are typically not able to speak, and they're usually not found in these parts. So, and I'm not justifying this, I'm only explaining it. When a guard sees an anomaly like that, they want to ask questions, and I'm guessing that she might have ran away after being questioned.
So why wasn't I stopped when I came in? I don't see any other talking cats in your city.
I think you might be just anthropomorphic enough to pass off as a person, but 7 is a full-on griffin, like species and all. So maybe that's why they got a little confused.
Someone needs to educate those guards a little better.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a talk with them after this meal.
Be careful what you say in that regard. We don't want too near arrests today.
They can't arrest me. I am too fast.
Does Olwen hear that?
Roll a perception check. You're in the other room, so...
And besides, I did not break any of their arbitrary rules. Why would they try to arrest me?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll that too. Perception too, just to see if I hear anything.
7?
It's definitely gonna affect 7's mood. Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, good. I didn't hear nothing.
Okay. I don't think either of you heard anything.
Olwen, you hear them talking about the guards and stuff, but you just heard like a little bits and pieces.
Right back, 7. Wanna go get Adrian, Hoshimi, and Shylin for dinner in Caius?
7 pokes her head out from under the table like a scared puppy. Who's she mad at me for? Who's she mad?
Then just go get Adrian and he can tell them. I don't think anyone's mad at Adrian right now.
Out of character, where's Adrian?
We're bottom left.
The
Okay.
room with the big moose sticking out of the wall.
The moose
Got it. All right.
the board.
Okay. She is like crawling on the floor, like being as low as she possibly can.
It's the moose room.
Sneaking music.
Big music.
Come on. There we go.
She comes in. She's already set up. Basically, she's served everyone the stir fry and the naan. She's coming in to pick up the curry. I heard something about the guards.
And just some kind of Q&A stuff. Our friend here was curious about rules and whatnot.
Yes, and these guards are terrible at following them.
How so?
I mean, they let this poor child in and then they start chasing her around. That doesn't seem very fair. Someone needs to have a talk with them.
We don't know the
Well-
full story.
So, they didn't even bother asking.
We didn't even bother asking. What if I don't think she would do this intentionally to be malicious, but what if she accidentally took something that didn't belong to her and they were pursuing her for a legitimate reason?
I gave her money. She had the money. She was paying for it.
But also, okay, let's put it this way. Was she talking when they let her into the city? No.
I don't know.
You were with us in the carriage, Jojo. You should know.
I wasn't really paying attention. I just kind of figured, oh, look, talking griffin, whatever.
But we also were in the presence of, well, 2 very important figures in Directian. Meanwhile, they could have just assumed that she was just a normal griffin. However, 1, she was talking, which is innately magical, and 2, she wasn't with anyone supervising her, especially those 2 people of importance. So it would technically go against the laws we have established. They would probably try and question her to figure out who, and I don't enjoy saying this, who she belonged to. That way, she probably wouldn't be punished, but the person who she belonged to would, especially if they thought they were doing something illegal with her.
So,
And she also doesn't have her license with her. Not yet.
license?
Yes?
What's a license?
Abigail,
Are you saying you don't have one?
I would not be asking.
Oh no.
Also,
Valentine?
quick question. So, I've never met an actual griffin before 7. They normally can't talk?
No.
Seven is a
Okay.
very special case.
I would not know. This is first time meeting a griffin.
In regards to the license,
yes.
beings of magical either origin or possessing magical power have a license describing what kind of magic they have. That way, governing authorities know what they are capable of and if they pose a danger. As well as if they have restrictions placed on them. Everyone, for example, everyone in our party has magical items or innate magical power currently. I only have a magical item, but people like Adrian or Hoshimi have magical powers, as well as Sybil has both. Flint, I think you have a magical item. Are you magical inherently? Do you need a license?
I mean, I can breathe fire, but I've never done actual traditional magic before. So
Do you need I don't think you need a license, because, like, I have dark vision, and I don't need a license for that.
Yeah. I think all I do is I mix elements together to make bombs, but I don't think that counts as being magical.
No, but
Under the law, no.
Yeah.
They do track your magical items, though. For example, they track my snaky, and when she says the word snaky, her rope kind of winds up like rears up its quote-unquote head, like a say what? Someone say my name kind of thing.
Quick question. Do fate-altering curses count as magic?
Were you born with it, or were you, was it afflicted upon you at a later date?
Oh no, you were totally cursed by Rakshasa, me and my brother at birth. Like, very serious curses. Like, I've caused literal catastrophes just by being in the room with people.
Flint immediately scoots away from the sharp knives that are next to him on the table.
So far, my curse has mostly been nullified at this point, but it still flares up from time to time.
I think that would be important for them to know, but I don't know if you would need a license for it, since it's not a curse that you placed. Or it's not something that you have control over.
If it's self-inflicted, then they'd probably look into that, but if it's something you couldn't control, then, I don't think it's your fault.
Don't quote me on... Abigail raises her hand. Don't quote me on this, but I think that falls... I think passive curses fall under the magic items clause.
So, like my magical flask, I would have needed a license for that?
You don't need a license for it. You just need to have it registered.
I'm starting to wonder whether or not I want to hang out in this city for very long.
Well, between you and me, that's one of the reasons why I do love adventuring.
You make your own rules.
I try to follow my own rules, but even that doesn't always work out.
Olwen just sort of takes the curry over to the table.
Another nice thing about curry, it cooks fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, you're waiting on rice at tops.
Yes.
And she brought the rice as well.
Right. Yes. Why don't we all head over to the dining room? It's just over here.
Before that happens, actually.
Yep.
I'm just thinking. So with the thing with Hoshimi and Charlotte, Charlotte's expression suddenly goes from smug to horrified. Wait a minute. She said I was right, and it is exactly the same look that Hoshimi had when Shylin thanked her those days ago.
Careful, Shylin, your ego is showing.
Oh no! The expression was not a haha. It was a what the hell just happened?
It is utter shock.
He shocked himself.
Olwen pats the seat next to hers. Oh, never mind. Sybil sat down.
This is
Up on the table.
kind of frighteningly fancy. Who lives in a place like this?
Caius raises his hand. And then Abigail also raises her hand.
So Flint obviously can't reach the table, and he's like, "Can I have a chair for my chair?"
Charlotte walks in the room. There's a step ladder in the corner. I'll grab it.
Thank you.
Ah! They have complimentary booze.
Okay, Hoshimi asked if there was a window anywhere.
Caius looks around. Yeah, there's a couple behind the curtains. It's like there's a lot of places around here that have windows.
Okay. She picks up her plate, goes off, she leaves her plate there. She goes off into the kitchen briefly. She fills up another bowl with curry. Then she comes back, grabs her plate, and she goes out the window.
Oh.
You want a napkin? I guess she doesn't want a napkin.
She'll be fine.
She does that a lot.
7 attempts to lick the curry. Realizes that she likes it and then proceeds to shove face into the plate.
I imagine her lapping it up like doggy boy, like.
Oh no, she's not even standing. She's not even sitting in the chair. The chair's like falling back and her tail's wagging, and she's just going to town like a dog on the table.
Yeah.
Jojo grabs 2 bottles of wine off this wine rack over here and goes to sit down by the fire.
Sweet.
So, where did our friend go?
She'll be
Out
back.
the window.
Who knows?
She seemed like she wanted to be alone for a little bit.
Yeah.
I did a. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead first.
She's not mad at me anymore, but she's still upset. I know what I did was wrong, but
7, I don't think it's about that.
oh, okay.
I think it's something... Nah, I shouldn't say.
That
So
is
she's upset about that license thing you were talking about earlier.
I just realized that everybody's on one side of the table and Adrian's sitting all by himself.
That's so sad.
Adrian gets 5 courses all to himself.
Or Hoshimi took one.
Silver
So
lining.
what was that about? So what was that about the ego there, Mr. Head of the Table? Shylin says, looking over at Adrian, just taking the entire side by himself.
Adrian actually doesn't realize it. He's actually just looking. He's actually just paying attention because he also has his notebook to the side. He's kind of like he does what he normally does, eats and works at the same time. He doesn't realize that no one's next to him.
You know what?
Seven grabs her bowl in her beak, even though there's not much left, and it's basically all over her face at this point. She just goes over to sit next to him.
Aww.
You know, come to think of it, while you're both here, Owen, Adrian,
Yes?
forgive me if this is gonna be obvious to the two of you, but I had a thought earlier, and that was, I believe we've suspected for a while that Hollyhock was behind Rickwell's disappearance, but okay, Adrian, how reliable are your sister's predictions?
They are, well, they are predictions, and either take them at face value or you can try and prove them wrong.
And when it comes to things that have already happened,
They are true. They're 99.9% factual.
Well, according to her, Raquel's disappearance had something to do with Mr. Skullface in the city. So, if Hollyhock isn't responsible, then it looks like we've got someone entirely new on the table. Either Scully himself, or I'm guessing this is more likely, an agent of his.
I might need a refresher on this one. Did Raquel say anything when you went to visit her back at her mansion that seemed off that probably could correlate to this?
I'd have to think about it a bit more. To answer you simply, yes, a lot of what she said seemed off, but most of that was relating to the situation with her case.
Anything
if I recall,
before that?
if I recall correctly, you said that someone was visiting her at the asylum. Did you get a description?
I believe... Josh, the impression, stop me if I'm wrong, I believe that someone was Hollyhock.
Yeah.
Well, we drew that conclusion. I don't recall if we ever got a description. Because we were just sort of assuming.
I remember asking, like, does he fit... I gave the doctor your description of Hollyhock, and he basically said yes, unless I'm not remembering.
Yeah, that was
correctly.
correct. That's correct.
Well,
The thing is,
are we assuming that the Skull Gentleman is not an agent of Hollyhock? Or perhaps Hollyhock may be an agent of his? I know he probably wouldn't do it willingly, but he would... If it comes to knowledge, he would make a deal. Perhaps it's mutually beneficial for the both.
well, if that's the case, Hollyhock claimed that he has no idea who took Raquel, and you believe we can take his word at face value, yes?
Adrian, you're the one who spoke with him most recently. If I recall correctly from your telling of what happened, you also said that he didn't know where he got his magic from, necessarily, or didn't know much about it. What I extrapolated from that, and based on your assumptions here, is that that skeleton fellow, may have something to do with the source of his magic, he just doesn't know exactly where.
If I could possibly interject, if you're correct and your theory does have a lot of merit, we might be looking at a case of the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing. If Hollyhock is also an agent of Skeleton but doesn't... Okay, trying to gather my words. If Raquel was stolen by an agent of the Skeleton, but not by Hollyhock, and Hollyhock is also an agent of the Skeleton, but not the one who took Raquel, despite him showing clear interest in Raquel, and also being an agent himself, then that puts together a picture to me that we have two agents of the Skeleton potentially running around, both of which were not communicating with each other.
It's
Well,
undercover. That happens a lot with undercover missions. It separates how much one knows and how much liability each one is.
But can
Well,
also lead to a
thankfully-
situation where one might trip over the other.
Adrian, go ahead.
Well, thankfully, my sister gave me some good advice, and I think I'm gonna take it. I think I might have a source regarding that.
Something you can share with the class?
He looks. Adrian looks around at the entire, at the entire table, and inside, and mentally, he has like this, like evil laugh on the inside. It would be, well, actually, it's my godmother.
Oh, the one who saved you?
Yep, she might have a. Well, she has a. She's an insider. Let's just say she's an insider on Mr. Skullface.
What? Why weren't we talking to her sooner then?
Because I need a specific scrum in order to talk to her.
And she's also very busy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about family members of Adrian's whose help would probably be very useful in matters like this. I can think of at least one right off the top of my head. I mean, we've all been kind of absent from our families for circumstances beyond our control in recent days, haven't we?
Okay. I can see that. I suppose.
By the way, I wanted to ask you about something, Adrian.
In regards to what?
This whole city, this orb thing, I've never actually... Admittedly, before it didn't really matter to me, but considering how important this does seem, what exactly are you searching for in regards to these orbs? I know they connect to your sword and the spirit within it, but it looks like there's some kind of pattern regarding ancient cities.
Olwen, help me out on this one. Based on the auras that we detected and subsequently absorbed, each of them has a connection to an ancient Netherese city from even before the new current deities are around. And seeing that each one has like some sort of temple somewhere dedicated to that city, it's somehow connected to Heronius in some regard. But based on my tarot reading, I want to do a little bit more research into that based on my ambivalent future prediction.
I say, you seem certain that... Sorry, Josh?
It's Abigail. Abigail looks up. This all sounds so very... Oh man, how what I wouldn't give to go on this little adventure with you.
Less adventure, more gigantic fustercluck that keeps snowballing out of control. Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
like I
maybe
said,
is
adventure.
a good description.
I do appreciate that, Princess, but I'm just concerned that I'm just concerned that if we bring you along, it might be, I guess, somewhat burdensome in some way, because not only are we solving mysteries and documenting history here, we'd also be your escort.
Yeah, let's not do the DuckTales song here.
I'm not. I paraphrased it fine.
What he's trying to say is that we'd love to have you, but it's extremely dangerous, and we don't want anything happening to you.
Charlotte actually raises
Abigail
her hand.
raises her eyebrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Caius and
Charlotte
I
actually
fought a
raises-
lich before.
I was just about to say that, yes. Caius, how well can she hold her own in a fight?
Well, she doesn't do a lot of damage, but taking her down, good luck. I've never been able to do it.
Well,
I'm going
Cons-
to refrain from commenting there.
considering the fact that most people considered, Sir Windstrummer the strongest of the heroes of Directian, and it seems that she at least shares the same similar abilities, I'd say she has perhaps the potential to be even more dangerous than Caius.
And considering that you and I were going to be doing some practicing tomorrow morning, Adrian, well, if you want to put her to the test, I can think of no better opportunity.
Well, I wouldn't go. Thank you for the compliment, Officer Edgeworth, but unfortunately, I wouldn't call myself nearly on his level because my magic, it's more about recalling knowledge and helping others do better.
Wait, recalling knowledge in what regard?
It's imagine I would be able to clear your mind out of all distractions. Like, say you need to recall a bit of information that you need in the moment, and my magic is very much helpful for that. It's actually helped me a lot with my studies.
Adrian was literally just... Sorry?
Adrian's pausing and he's thinking right back to his
Adrian...
his role in the tarot reading.
I believe Adrian literally just wanted me to try to recall something only a few minutes ago. Could your magic help me there?
My magic helps to recall knowledge and skills, not clarity of memories. I mean, if I had a week, I could figure something out, but I don't have anything to read a memory with clarity, let alone share that memory with you.
I see.
All right then.
If you need to recall an obscure bit of information, I can help you with that.
Well, we are planning on heading to Directian's library, and if that's the case, I could use that help. In fact, I could use everyone's help on that.
Not sure how much help I'll be, but I guess I can carry a few books you need.
Think of
Truly,
it as
the lightest camera being put to the test.
Think of it of us doing the scavenger hunt activity for the festival in Directian's library.
Well, you're going to have to let me know exactly how to help, but I'll do my best. By the way,
I have a question.
Yes?
Who's this Raquel girl you keep speaking about?
The young woman, child who was with us when we were all taken to a dark city. She was kidnapped by someone, and I want to make sure that we find her before anything bad happens. She didn't deserve any of this.
Deserve any of...
To be taken into an evil city, into another dimension against her will, be attacked, have a life threat, and have a life threatened when she got out, and then be kidnapped by a murderer.
Wait, what? Wait, why would she get attacked after she got out of... Why would she get attacked like that? That I don't understand.
I did say threatened, unfortunately, as it turns out someone did try to attack her as well.
Well, why?
There's two sides of it. First of all, Raquel was convicted of a crime when she was very young, and you know the way people are. Once they're convinced you're guilty, nothing will convince them otherwise, not even the truth.
I know how that is. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wasn't that the... I thought that name sounded familiar. It's the Raquel Carcher, the child murderer, right?
Yep.
I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with that case. That was the... Yeah, she
It
was
was a
convicted.
case-
She was convicted based off of a potion of shared memories, right?
It was a case declared open and shut far too quickly. The actions were committed, but she was under the influence of drugs at the time. She had no control over her own action.
Flint actually identified perhaps a plant that may have driven her into a state where she was not fully in control of her emotional and mental state.
The fiery Joker.
And if we're correct, Adrian looks over to Flint. Someone was attempting to work on an antidote for it, but it's going to take a bit of practice to get this right.
Yeah.
As for why she was taken,
curious. Do you have that? Can you make a potion of shared memories?
Me?
Yes.
That DM question. That isn't my formula book, isn't it?
Yeah, you just got it from the telegram yesterday. Sorry, today.
Yeah. I actually just...
Wait, you can?
Yeah. I got it recently.
Batia sent the telegram to New Gatlas instead of directing. I guess it was faster.
How many batches can you make?
Depends on the time, depends on the ingredients.
Huh. I mean, I don't know about the risks of using too much of it, but if we're solving mysteries, being able to directly share information we've gotten without risking without risking a messenger game could make comparing notes a heck of a lot easier.
Yes, and didn't you say something about having to recall a detail with to recall a memory?
Yes. Yes. Flint, do you think you'd be able to whip something like that up?
Well, it says in order to place a memory in the vial, you need to focus on a particular memory for 1 minute, so you need to recall the memory first.
Alright. He puts his knife and book on the plate. Well, I'll be ready when you are, Flint, but first, Adrian.
Yeah.
What makes you so certain that finding these orbs will lead us to Raquel? Aside from what I learned about Mr. Skull having taken her, what exactly is the connection you're seeing between all of this?
I'm not sure if it does. Honestly, I'm not sure if this does connect. But it does. The only connection, again, is regarding to... I guess we're calling him Mr. Skullhead now. If this person has some connection to not just Raquel, but something bigger, I think I need to... I think I might need to know what that is. I just gotta make sure I'm following these prophecies, I guess, as were correctly.
I see. And to answer the other part of your question, Abigail, that's the second half. When we were forcibly exiled to that dark city, we encountered a robed man with, let's just say, missing a lot of flesh. And when Raquel was taken, according to prophecy by Adrian's sister, whoever her kidnapper was has some connection with the rogue skeleton. So I don't know why, but he happens to have taken an interest in her.